Welcome to the Red, White, and You podcast with Allen American's head coach, Steve Martinson. Marty, maybe the most impressive weekend of the year. You look at last week, 4 straight wins. We end up with the 3-game sweep of Wichita. What an incredible week. Did it even amaze you what we did?
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, obviously, I always feel like we're going to win every game. I mean, you can't sit there and go, okay, we want to win 4 straight. But, we got a lot of new players in the lineup. I think we have 10 guys played on this weekend that weren't here the first month of the season. So, I think we're going to continue to get better. We've added a lot of guys that were leading scorers. So, I think we have a lot of upside, so I like the way we're playing.
Yeah, you know what it seemed like, at least in those first couple games against Wichita, they were trying to do everything just to get under our skin, and we were playing our game, and it got them in trouble in the penalty box, and we ended up scoring. And, it just seemed like they got away from their game.
Yeah, I thought we played really good on Friday, Saturday. We had puck possession and we limited it, defensively, we were really good. We had a lot of new guys that haven't been actually playing. So I thought Sunday we took a little step back, but I thought mainly it was our forwards, but then I looked and sure enough, we ended up having more puck possession time than them, but we just weren't generating, as many plays offensively. It was a little frustrating. Then the third period, I think we kind of figured it out and got going again.
And we limited them the first 2 games. They were hovering around 20 shots late in the third period, both games. So what were we doing defensively?
Well, I think, getting another defensive defenseman in there, and, Skio hadn't been playing defense this year. They've been playing him at forward. And then, Ruup, and, he's been off for a month. They were practicing, but they have been practicing for like a month, up in college. So, I think, we're bigger defensively, getting Ruup another, 6'5", 6'4". So I think we were able to, use those guys against some of their big forwards. And then, team defense.
Especially in the Sunday game, I noticed that with Skio out there, he was all over Gagnon, and he wasn't doing much on Sunday.
No, and Skio was challenging guys to, to fight, and so was our new guy Bent was challenging guys, and then that took them off their game a little bit. That, I don't think we've been maybe as verbal as we've been in that game, but Skio was throwing a lot of big hits. Ruup wasn't far behind him, so I think those hits added up in the games, and their forwards were kind of looking around when they're depending on who they were playing against.
Asachuk, his game is at an all-time high. I looked back in December, he was at 5 goals. Now he's at 18. Obviously, he just won Player of the Week. And he's going to put a good fight for Player of the Month with 9 goals and 2 assists in the month of April. What's changed in his game?
I don't know if so much has changed in that, they're getting pucks to the net. I mean, that's where Asachuk scores, the bulk of his goals is around the net. And one of the frustrating things on Sunday is we weren't getting as many pucks to the net. But, he's a big body guy. He's playing with some fast puck carriers, and, he just gets open. And like I said, he's great at tipping and screening the goalie. And, when you have the right players, he can really be, not that he needs the right players to play with, but, he can really complement a line. And, the guys, like I said, the guys that we added, have a lot of speed. And so even though we've been juggling lines quite a bit, I think we have more speed in the lineup too, which helps, like I said, get pucks to the net. And that's where Spencer is. It's
cool. It's great to see Colin Shirley in that game on Sunday. Perfect play. Dyson brings the puck up along the wall, passes it through the middle. It goes off a Lamon skate. Shirley picks it up off the wall and goes right to the front of the net and scores.
Yeah, well, all those guys that we added are leading scorers from their junior teams and their college teams. So Shirley's another one. He hasn't been on the ice for a month. And, I thought those guys were in incredible shape to be able to come in and play, 3 games in a row, with only practicing a few days. So, he's another guy. He's just going to get better. And, he's, like I said, a former captain, and those guys play the game right.
And last thing with Jake Paterson, what a statement last week that eight player shootout on each side, and Paterson just denied shot after shot. He looked so good in that position. I mean, is he the best goalie going right now in the league?
Well, I think so. I mean, he's winning games, and the games that he hasn't won is, we just weren't scoring. We went to that little lull where we weren't scoring, and one of the things that Wichita's had their same team all year. They haven't lost. They lost a couple players in the American League at the beginning of the year, but they never, those guys that they weren't planning on getting from the Toronto guys. And our lineup has been changed, dramatically. We lost 5 physical defensemen. We lost 4 physical forwards. We've got a lot of new guys in. So, it kind of helps them having, I've seen that in the past where you have teams that, that because you keep everybody, you're everybody's in sync. And I think as we get, everybody playing on the same page, you're going to see that, you're going to see the sky's the limit, I think, for our team.
Last thing for you, last Sunday, a very bizarre situation. After we scored our goal, I saw our guys going off the ice, and I said, uh-oh, is it a bad ice or what's going on? Will you take us through what happened there with the whole jersey fiasco?
Well, we don't, that's a league deal. And the funny thing is, I didn't see anything till I came out for warmups, and I'm going, excuse me, for the game, because when my camera for warmups only shows our players. So I never saw until we were out there seeing the game. And what really made it hard for us is we had blue jerseys. They had blue pants, black jerseys, or, dark gray, and blue helmets. So it was really, our players couldn't tell who, and the linesman said that he couldn't tell who was who. And I looked over at Rammer and him like, can you guys, nobody could tell who was who. So it was one of those things. It was going to be a tough game for the fans to follow, who was on whose team. So it was that quick change. And we changed because our jerseys were accessible. Theirs were already packed away. So it was pretty dicey though. The first couple of shifts, everybody was looking at each other like going, who's out there?
I sure appreciated it. I'm telling you, it was not easy to call.
No, well, yeah, I mean, it's funny that you asked, but it had to be a nightmare up there, calling out the players.
Yeah. Marty, thanks for doing this big week again with 4 games coming up against Tulsa. Starts all this evening. Thanks, Marty.
All right. See you.